The moment didn't seem like a big deal at first, just another interview, another casual conversation with one of the familiar faces everyone has come to know from the chase. The kind of setting where fans expect a few laughs, maybe a clever story or two, and the usual charm that's made the show such a long-running favorite. But then, in the middle of that easygoing exchange, something shifted. It started with a smile. Not just any smile, but the kind that suggests someone knows a little more than they're letting on. The kind that makes you lean in just a bit closer, even if you don't realize you're doing it. "I can't say too much," they said. And just like that, the curiosity was sparked. Because whenever someone says they can't say too much, it usually means there's something very interesting they're trying to not say at all. The conversation moved forward, but now there was a different energy. A subtle tension mixed with excitement. The host picked up on it instantly, of course. How could they not? That tiny slip had opened the door to something bigger, something new. A brand new spin-off. The words weren't fully confirmed, not spelled out in detail, but they hung in the air all the same. And suddenly, it wasn't just a casual chat anymore. It was a moment fans would rewind, replay, and analyze over and over again. What could it be? Who would be involved? And more importantly, what makes it different from the show people already love? The star, realizing they may have revealed just a little too much, tried to pull it back with humor. A quick laugh, a playful shrug, and another "I really shouldn't say anymore." But the damage, in the best possible way, had already been done. Because now, imaginations were running wild. Would this new spin-off bring a fresh twist to the format? Maybe something a little more relaxed, a little more personal, or perhaps something faster, more unpredictable, where even the experts are pushed into unfamiliar territory. And then there's the chemistry. One of the reasons The Chase has stayed so popular isn't just the questions or the format, it's the personalities, the quick wit, the playful teasing, the moments where competition blends effortlessly with humor. So naturally, people started wondering, what happens when you take those personalities and place them in a completely new setting? The possibilities feel endless. Picture this, a slightly different stage, maybe a new set of rules, but the same sharp minds and quick comebacks that fans can't get enough of. Maybe there's more room for conversation, for unexpected moments that go beyond right or wrong answers. Maybe, just maybe, there's a touch more heart. Because beneath all the knowledge and competition, there's always been something quietly charming about the way these stars interact, the respect they show each other, even while trying to outsmart one another, the way humor sneaks in at just the right moment, turning tension into laughter. And that's where things get interesting. Because if this new spin-off leans into that side, the personality, the connection, the unpredictability, it could become something really special. Back in the interview, the teasing continued. The host, clearly enjoying the situation, tried a different approach, a few lighthearted guesses, a bit of playful pressure. But each time, the answer came back wrapped in the same mix of mystery and amusement. "I can't tell you, honestly." That tone said everything. Not dismissive, not rehearsed, just someone genuinely excited about what's coming, trying their best to not give it away too soon. And that excitement,
Because when
it's
someone
contagious.
who's already part of something successful hints at a new project with that kind of energy, it usually means there's a reason to be excited. As the conversation drifted to other topics, that earlier moment didn't fade, it lingered, like a small clue in a much bigger puzzle, waiting to be pieced together. Fans quickly picked up on it, sharing clips, discussing theories, debating what this spin-off could look like. Some imagined a more relaxed version of the game, where conversations flow as freely as the questions. Others pictured a high-stakes twist, raising the pressure and pushing contestants, and even the stars, into completely new territory. And then there were those who focused on something else entirely, the relationships. Because over time, viewers don't just watch these shows, they get attached to the people in them. The familiar faces start to feel, in a way, like part of a routine, a presence that's both entertaining and comforting at the same time. So the idea of seeing those same personalities in a new light, that's where the real excitement builds. Imagine unexpected pairings, different dynamics, maybe even moments where the usual roles are flipped, creating situations no one saw coming. There's something almost cinematic about the idea of taking what people already love and adding just enough of a twist to make it feel brand new again. And let's not forget the humor, because if there's one thing that never misses, it's the quick, clever exchanges that happen when sharp minds meet a bit of friendly competition. A new format could open the door to even more of those moments, the kind that make people laugh, rewind, and share with friends. By the end of the interview, nothing had been officially confirmed, no detailed announcements, no big reveal, and yet it didn't matter. Because sometimes the smallest hint is all it takes, a single line, a playful smile, a carefully chosen, "I can't say too much." That's all it took to turn an ordinary conversation into something people couldn't stop talking about. And maybe that's part of the magic, not knowing everything right away, letting the anticipation build, imagining the possibilities before they're fully revealed. Because when something finally does get announced after moments like this, it doesn't just feel new, it feels earned, like you were there at the very beginning, catching that first glimpse before anyone else. So now, all eyes are on what comes next, waiting, guessing, hoping. Because if that one small slip is anything to go by, something exciting is definitely on the horizon. And when it finally arrives, one thing's for sure: people will be watching.